America's travel game is about to change forever. The US is getting ready to drop visa requirements for 10 foreign countries in 2025. This means millions could soon walk through American airports without ever needing a visa. Which countries made the cut? What does this massive shift mean for jobs, security, and the economy? Some of the chosen nations might shock people, and the timing couldn't be more wild. The global balance is shifting fast. Something major is about to happen in 2025. The United States is planning to drop visa requirements for 10 foreign countries. That means that people from these countries will be able to travel to the US without needing a visa. It's a big deal, especially for countries that were never on the visa-free list before. Why is the US doing this now? Why these specific countries? Let's dive deep and explore each one of them in full detail. Brunei is a small but extremely wealthy country. Imagine living in a place where fuel is cheaper than water, and most people don't even pay taxes. Brunei has huge oil and gas reserves, which make it one of the richest countries per person in the world. Its ruler, the Sultan of Brunei, lives in a massive palace with nearly 1,800 rooms. That alone sounds like a fairy tale. Still, Brunei is one of the least visited countries in Southeast Asia. Why? The country has very strict laws, no nightlife, and a very quiet conservative culture. But now the US is opening its doors to Brunei. How come? Brunei has close ties with the US, and it's economically stable and has one of the lowest crime rates in the world. The US believes these are strong reasons to allow Brunei citizens visa-free entry in 2025. Taiwan makes more than 60% of the world's semiconductors. These are tiny chips that run phones, computers, cars, and many other devices. Without Taiwan, the global tech world would crash. Taiwan is a global tech player with low unemployment and a strong economy. But here's the twist. The United Nations doesn't even fully recognize it as a country. Despite pressure from China, Taiwan has managed to grow and stay stable. Over 500,000 Taiwanese tourists visit the US every single year, spending billions. With the new visa-free rule, that number will rise fast. The US knows how important Taiwan is, especially when it comes to trade, innovation, and security. South Korea is one of the most advanced countries in the world. The internet speed is lightning fast, and people get their food delivered in just 15 minutes. It's home to tech giants like Samsung, LG, and Hyundai. But South Korea is more than just tech and K-pop. It has a strong military and a long-lasting alliance with the US. America even has over 28,000 troops in South Korea to keep the region stable. In 2025, South Koreans will be allowed to enter the US without a visa. Trade between the two nations is already worth more than $200 billion. Also, South Korea is facing a population crisis. The US sees the country as too important to ignore. India has over 1.4 billion people. It's becoming one of the biggest economies in the world, and by 2075, it could overtake the US. In 2025, it will become the third largest economy, passing Japan and Germany. Indian immigrants have helped shape Silicon Valley. CEOs of Google, Microsoft, and Adobe all have Indian roots. Over 4 million Indian Americans live in the US, and Indian students bring billions to American universities. India is full of contrasts, massive growth, but also poverty. Still, the US sees India as a major player in global politics and business. That's why Indians will soon get visa-free access. Singapore is a tiny island, but it's one of the richest countries in the world. It's super clean, super safe, and super advanced. Chewing gum is illegal there, but people enjoy top-notch services and luxury everywhere. Its economy runs like a machine. Singapore has top banks, strong trade links, and one of the most powerful passports in the world. People can travel almost anywhere without a visa. Even though it's expensive to live in, Singapore attracts global talent. The US sees it as a key economic partner. That's why the US is now letting Singaporeans enter without a visa starting in 2025. Japan is a mix of tradition and future tech. It was badly damaged after World War II, but it rose quickly to become the world's third largest economy. Brands like Toyota, Sony, and Nintendo are global leaders. Japan also leads in robotics. Bullet trains are always on time, and people live some of the longest lives on Earth. However, Japan has a problem. Its population is shrinking. Fewer babies are being born. The US relies on Japan for tech, trade, and security. They work closely on military matters, especially with North Korea and China nearby. That's why Japan will get visa-free entry in 2025. Israel is a tiny country, but it has a lot of power. It leads in military intelligence and tech innovations. Products like the Iron Dome, the Intel chip, and popular apps come from Israeli mines. Despite being in a tense region, Israel keeps growing. It has more startups per person than even Silicon Valley. Its universities are top level, and many Israelis move to the US for education and work. Israel also leads in water technology, farming, and medicine. Its close ties with the US make it a top choice for visa-free travel. In 2025, Israelis will get that privilege. Qatar is small, but it has huge wealth thanks to its natural gas reserves. It has one of the highest incomes per person, and its people pay almost no taxes. Its government is rich too, with $300 billion in reserve. Qatar has become a center for global diplomacy. Its TV network Al Jazeera reaches millions, and it hosted the FIFA World Cup in 2022. It also plays a big role in politics and peace talks. The US values Qatar for its energy and military support. So in 2025, Qatari citizens will be allowed to enter the US without a visa. The Philippines has over 7,000 islands and more than 113 million people. It has beautiful beaches, warm hospitality, and a growing economy. But it also faces big problems like poverty, political issues, and disasters. Still, the country is strong. It has one of the biggest call center industries in the world, brings in billions from tourism and outsourcing. And now, tech startups are rising faster in cities like Manila. The US has a long history with the Philippines, from military bases to family ties. That's why in 2025, Filipinos will finally get visa-free access to the US. The US sees it as a key economic partner. That's why the US is now letting Singaporeans enter without a visa starting in 2025. Japan is a mix of tradition and future tech. It was badly damaged after World War II, but it rose quickly to become the world's third largest economy. Brands like Toyota, Sony, and Nintendo are global leaders. Japan also leads in robotics. Bullet trains are always on time, and people live some of the longest lives on Earth. However, Japan has a problem. Its population is shrinking. Fewer babies are being born. The US relies on Japan for tech, trade, and security. They work closely on military matters, especially with North Korea and China nearby. Malaysia is full of culture, flavors, and progress. It used to rely on rubber and tin, but now it's a major tech and trade hub. Cities like Kuala Lumpur shine with modern skyscrapers and busy street markets. Its economy is worth over $400 billion. Malaysia also has strong religious tolerance, with Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, and Christians living side by side. The government is pushing for digital growth, and companies like AirAsia and Petronas are making waves. The US sees Malaysia as a trusted trade partner. That's why visa-free travel is coming in 2025. These are 10 countries that are rising fast. They bring technology, money, culture, and connections. By opening its doors, the US is showing trust and building stronger friendships. From riches of Brunei to the startups of Israel, these nations are shaping the world. And now, their citizens can explore the US without needing a visa. Big things are happening in 2025, and the future is looking more connected than ever before. Thanks for watching. Hit like, tap subscribe, and don't forget the bell. Things are just getting started. See you in the next one.